Assalamualaikum, my name is Muhammad Amzar Hakim bin Azhar and my matric number is 10DKA201078. Okay, before that, I would like to thanks to Puan Diana who give me the opportunity to do assignment in the IBS project. Okay, now today I want to tell you about roof truss. Okay, first we go to the theory. The theory said a truss is an assembly of beam and other elements that create a rigid structure. A truss is a single plane framework of individual structure member connected at the end of the form of series of triangle to span a large distance. Maksudnya, kekuda ataupun truss ini adalah himpunan rasuk dan elemen lain yang menghasilkan struktur tegar. Dan truss ini adalah satu rangka satah tunggal bagi anggota struktur individu yang disambungkan pada hujungnya untuk membentuk siri segitiga untuk menjangkau jarak yang besar. Okay, we go to the objective. The first objective is to assemble the model of the truss for the guardhouse. The second objective is to propose a suitable IBS superstructure system for the guardhouse. Maksudnya, tujuan pertama adalah untuk memasang model kekuda untuk rumah pengawal, dan kedua, tujuannya untuk mencadangkan sistem superstruktur IBS yang sesuai untuk rumah pengawal. Okay, this is apparatus that we need when we make a roof truss. The first is measure tape, second is marker pen, the third is wire casing. This is a main of apparatus that we need. The fourth is screw, the fifth is grinder machine, and the last is drill machines. Okay, this is method or the procedure that we need to do when we want to make a roof truss. The first is take a wire casing measuring 25 mm multiply by 50 mm. And second, take a measuring tape, measure and mark using a marker pen on the wire casing according to the size you want to use. The third is, once marked, take the grinder and carefully turn on the switch on the grinder. Then, cut the wire casing carefully according to the specific part and dimensions. Finally, after finishing cutting, take the part that is ready to be cut and then combine the part using a drill machine and screw. Make sure the screwed part is in the right place. Okay, we go to the next slide. From this slide, you can see the part on a truss model, which is we have a truss web, a peg, bottom cord, bearing point, a joint screw, and the last is top cord. Okay, we go to the truss model with explanation. The first is top cord, an incline of horizontal member that establish the upper edge of a truss. This member is subjected to comprising bending trusses. The second is bottom cord, the horizontal member defining the lower edge of a truss carrying ceiling load where applicable. This member is subject to tensile and bending trusses. The third is joint, the point of intersection of cord with the web or an attachment or pieces of lumber. Maksudnya, joint ni adalah satu titik persilangan antara web. Keempat, the peak. Peak is highest point on the truss where the slope top cord meet. Iaitu, peak adalah tempat yang paling tinggi antara cord yang curam bertemu. The last is webs, member that join the top and bottom cord to form the triangular patterns. They give truss actions. The member are subject only to axial compressions or tension force. Okay, ini adalah satu bahagian yang menghubungkan antara cord atas dan bawah untuk membentuk strength truss ataupun membentuk kekuatan truss tersebut. Okay, this slide show you about IBS superstructure. If you know, to making a guardhouse, we use a sum of IBS system, which is wall, precast wall, steel framing, precast hollow core slab, and the last is precast column. Okay, this slide show you about a 3D guardhouse that we make in a SketchUp. Okay, you can see that where we put and use IBS system in a guardhouse. Okay, now we go to the efficient management of time and resources during supervisions and quality checking for the guardhouse. Okay, to make efficient management, we use the critical path method, which is CPM, also known as a critical path analysis, CPA. It's a scheduling procedure that uses a network diagram to depict a project and the sequences of tasks required to complete it, which are known as paths. Once the paths are defined, the duration of each path is calculated by an algorithm to identify the critical path, which determine the total duration of the project. Maksudnya CPM atau juga dipanggil CPA adalah satu penjadualan atau satu kaedah yang dibuat untuk menggambarkan projek atau urutan tugas yang perlu diselesaikan, dan ia dibuat untuk mengenal pasti laluan kritikal yang mempengaruhi tempoh projek. Okay, next, the critical path method is used in project management to create project schedule and help project manager create a timeline. Okay, the critical path method include identifying every task necessary to complete the project and dependencies to them. Second is estimating the duration of the project task. The last is focus on planning, scheduling and controlling critical activities. Maksudnya CPM ini ia berfungsi sebagai untuk mengenal pasti setiap tugas yang diperlukan untuk menyelesaikan projek dan kebergantungan. Dan kedua adalah untuk menganggarkan tempoh tugasan projek, dan last sekali ia digunakan untuk memberi tumpuan kepada perancangan, penjadualan dan mengawal aktiviti kritikal. Okay, after making this consideration, you gain insight into which activity must be prioritized. Then you can allocate the necessary resources to get this important task done. Thus, you discover that are on the critical path of the laser priority in your project plan and can be delayed if they are causing the project team to become overloaded. Okay, selepas menggunakan CPM, kita akan dapat gambaran aktiviti yang mesti diutamakan, dan selepas mengetahuinya, kita boleh bersedia membuat peruntukan sumber dan komitmen kita untuk menyelesaikan tugas tersebut. Hal ini kerana yang perkara yang tidak ada pada laluan kritikal akan menjadi keutamaan dan tidak akan menjejaskan tempoh sesuatu projek. Okay, lastly, we go to the discussion and conclusion. After the study about root trust, it can be concluded the concept of trusts are very useful in our real life because concept of trust help us to make a roof, bright and tower. So trusts are very useful for us. It also have some disadvantage. By this, we conclude forces in each member and at each joint. Trust play a vital role in our surrounding everywhere. And in addition, by doing this task, we can learn effective way or method in managing a particular project, such as using the critical path method (CPM), which help us in doing the task very smoothly without harming any party. Okay, thank you for listening my presentations.